The purpose of this video is to give you some help with the Portal 2 Community Chess Chamber with a little help from my friends by Bayram. It's not a walkthrough, so you're not going to get the answers immediately. I'm assuming that you're here for a little bit of help, but you'd like to tackle the puzzles for yourself. When we enter the chamber, we're in a room that extends away from us for some distance, and we see a companion cube, which is one of our friends, and as we step into the room, a Franken cube is dispensed from a dispenser above us. If we turn to the right, we can see the chamber's exit, and we can also see that to get up there we need to activate a piston platform with buttons using the dot and cross symbols. Also, we'll have to find the button with the square symbol in order to open the exit door. The buttons with the dot and cross symbols are on either side of the entrance that we just came in through, so when we have the door open we'll have to be back here with two cubes. The button with the square symbol that opens the exit door is at the very far end of the room, and so clearly it's our goal to get there. Running along the left hand side of the room is a walkway with a glass floor. We can see that there are portable surfaces all along the left hand wall of this walkway, and so we can move past the lasers and the light bridges and explore that walkway and see if we can get out at the other end. However, when we do get to the other end, we discover that it's completely blocked off. Here's the button with the square symbol that we need to press to open the exit door. It also looks as if we'll need a cube in order to open a flip panel so that we can portal in there to press the button. But we can't reach it from here, so let's go back to the entrance, pick up our companion cube and take the only other path that's available to us, which is off to the right. Here we find a room containing a blue gel dropper operated by a cube button. If we turn back to see where we came from, we can see our entrance on the very left. Slightly to the right of that and high up is an open exit, and further to the right are two exits which are presently blocked. Pretty clearly it's our goal to use the blue gel to jump up to that left hand of the two higher exits. But how do we do that? That's the puzzle in this room. When we've solved the blue gel room puzzle, we'll find ourselves on a high platform. We need to go to the right in order to progress towards the far end of the room, but our way is blocked by a laser barrier. The barrier appears to be activated by a laser which is crossing the walkway that we explored earlier, just behind the first vertical light bridge. So now we face the puzzle of how to turn off the laser barrier in order to progress further. Once we get through the laser barrier, we'll be able to jump back down to the lower level again. Here we'll find a pedestal button. This will open one of the block doors and allow us back into the blue gel room. Of course, we need to move forward, so let's turn around and we'll find a doorway into the next room, which is off to one side of the main room. In this room we'll have to walk around a glass barrier, but then when we look back we'll see a familiar pattern of entrances. The one that we came in is to the left, slightly to the right and above that is an open exit, which is presumably where we need to go out, and further to the right there are two blocked exits. If we look at the exit that we need to make for, it's pretty obvious that we need to activate a funnel in order to get up there. If we follow the ant line from the funnel, we can see it's turned on by a cube button which is guarded heavily by a number of turrets. This is the puzzle for this room: how to get in there and put a cube on the cube button so as to activate the funnel. Once we have defeated the turrets and put a cube on the cube button, the blue funnel turns on just as we had hoped, and we can take it up to the platform and out through the exit. At this point I'm not going to tell you exactly what the platform is for or how to turn it on, but when you're playing the game you should be able to figure both of these things out. When we make it up to the top, we're on yet another platform, and once again our path is blocked by a laser barrier, but we've been through this before, so we should have a strategy at this time to get to the other side of the laser barrier. There, once again we jump down to a lower level and we find a pedestal button which will open one of the blocked doorways and let us back into the turret room. Moving on, we come to the third side room. Here in the far corner we can see a sphere which is dropping repeatedly into toxic goo. If we move into the room and turn around, we can see the familiar pattern of entrances and exits. The rightmost two exits are blocked. We once again need to aim for the high up exit, which is slightly to the right of the door that we came in through. We can see a funnel, which is going to be very useful for getting up to the exit. Unfortunately, we can't capture the funnel in a portal because of the fizzler field. This appears to be turned off by a sphere button because of the matching signage. So it would be really useful if we could get that sphere that's dropping into the goo in the corner. The sphere button also turns a flip panel. Again, this is apparent by the matching signage, and this will give us somewhere to place the other portal for the funnel. The puzzle then for the third side room is clearly a matter of getting hold of that sphere. Once we've done that, we can capture the funnel, direct it to take us up to the exit, and once again we'll find ourselves out on a high level platform blocked by a laser barrier. However, we know how to deal with that now. On the other side of the laser barrier, we can look down and see that we finally reached the far end of the room. There's that button that we have to press in order to open the exit. Now, assuming that we've brought the companion cube with us, or we can go back and get it, it's a simple matter to put it on the cube button, which turns the flip panel and allows us to portal into the cage where the pedestal button is. And here we are, finally pressing that pedestal button. This means, of course, that the exit is now open. If we could only be back there with two cubes, we would be out. Having turned the flip panel, of course, we can portal into the walkway. We know that it's possible to place portals all along the wall and get right to the other end of this, so let's see if we can get out. Oh darn, now it seems to be blocked by a laser field. So here we have another element to this chamber. We have the puzzle of how to get back. At this point in the video, I'm rather hoping that you'll go and play the chamber and try to solve these puzzles yourself. But if you're here for the solutions of the puzzles, or you'd just like to see how the puzzles are solved and then go and play it, the following parts of the video are real spoilers because they're going to show you exactly what to do. The first puzzle is in the blue gel room. Because of the lack of conveniently placed portalable surfaces, what we have to do is to get the blue gel to pass through the portals twice. By moving the second portal, we can then get it to take an unusual direction and land where we need it in order to bounce up and out of that room through the exit. I hope that you've already figured out how to get past the laser barriers, because that's a major feature of this chamber. What you need to do is to get the second of your two friends, the Frankencube, to march along the walkway, which is along the left hand side of the main room. He might get stuck if you don't place him quite right, but you can have another go and just simply get him to go through the gate at the entrance to the walkway and march cleanly along the glass floor. Now, of course, he will get stuck when he meets the vertical light bridges, but that's the intent. He will actually wait there for you. So here we are at the first laser barrier. We can press the pedestal button, which will turn off the light bridge, allowing the Frankencube to move forward. When he blocks the laser barrier will turn off and allow us to continue along our path. To begin the solution to the turret room, we need to go and retrieve a weighted storage cube which is on a high ledge above the main room. There's a window up there which you could have looked through to see down into the blue gel room, and that's supposed to be a hint that the blue gel is involved in this solution. So let's go back to the blue gel room, put our companion cube on the button to start the gel, and direct the gel conveniently to completely cover the blue cube. We'll take the cube now back into the turret room, and we're going to have to stand quite carefully on this button now, so hold the cube to one side while you do that and toss it in among the turrets. Step back so that the door closes. After a while, the blue cube will have knocked down all the turrets. We can then take our companion cube, put it on the button, which will allow us to go in and retrieve the blue cube. It's not too hard to catch in there. Of course, if we put it down, it will bounce all around, and so we're going to have to wash it off using the conveniently placed dispenser right here. You can see me making a mess here of throwing it up in the air and then catching it again, but I was kind of lucky and I managed to find it before it bounced too far away. So we put it on the button here. Again, you can see me messing up, and the funnel has now been turned on, which will allow us to go up to the platform and out of the exit. In the third side room, we need to get our hands on that sphere that's dropping into the goo in the corner. This involves standing on a floor button, which turns the funnel off and turns a light bridge on. If we set our portals at the right angle, we'll be able to catch the sphere on the light bridge, jump off the floor button and catch it again in the funnel. When it reaches the other end of the funnel, just before it goes through the fizzler, we need to drop the cube on the floor button in order to turn the light bridge back on to catch the sphere, and we're done. If we take our companion cube back off the button, that will turn the funnel back on. We can place our portals where the fizzler field used to be, and that's our way out. Having solved the puzzles in the three side rooms and made our way through the laser barriers, we're left with the problem of getting back to the starting point. We've pressed the pedestal button and the square symbol assures us that we've opened the exit door. The crescent symbol is what has created the new laser barrier at the other end of the walkway, so we know that we can't take that path back. What we're going to have to do is to retrace our steps through the side rooms, and here we will meet slight modifications of the puzzles that we've already solved. Unfortunately, because we've removed the light bridges that block the path of the Franken cube, we have to do this against the clock. As the Franken cube interrupts each laser and shuts down the laser barrier, allowing us to cross over from one side room to the next, we have to be there in time to jump through. So let's simply watch a walkthrough of this in progress, and you can have a rest from my voice. You'll notice when I come to the laser barrier that I do save the game, because this is where something can go wrong. This light bridge is actually timed, and so it has come back on. This keeps the Franken cube in the walkway in case you need to portal in there and moving back and have another go. But I released the light bridge there to let him come through. if you forget to release the light bridge, then you can just portal in there and get him because there's a portalable surface nearby. Here we are at the exit then. If you play my chamber and you enjoy it, I sincerely hope that you'll leave me a comment and certainly a thumbs up. Thank you very much for watching. It only remains for me to remind you that there is in fact an Easter egg in this chamber. I hope you managed to find it because I haven't mentioned it at all. And to prove that I can actually wash that darn cube off a little more elegantly than I did in the earlier playthrough.